What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crown Cinema Podcast. In this episode, we are breaking down
and literally just watched
The Hateful Eight. Kind of Tarantino's most underrated movie. Maybe not underrated. Jackie Brown's pretty underrated.
I think Jackie Brown is the number one underrated.
But this one,
Tarantino film.
I think it flopped when it first came out. Like, it wasn't seen as a success.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember, because this came out in 2015. Yeah, I don't really remember like this movie being big, because this is the follow-up of Django, which, I mean, what a follow-up to Django, given the circumstances.
Right.
So like he drops Django, that probably, I think that had some shock value to it for a lot of audiences. Maybe not so much for like going into a Quentin Tarantino movie, because you already know what he's capable of. And I think we all know what I'm talking about here.
Yep.
The M word. Anyways, so he drops
Moving
Django.
on.
That's got some shock to it. And people are just like, damn, like, we knew he could do it, but like he really went overboard with it to some.
Yeah.
Fit the story to most people that just like watch the film. It's like, all right, it makes sense. So then you think, all right, Quentin Tarantino dropped Django. Surely the next film, he's going to like probably go the complete opposite
Play it
direction.
safe. Yeah. People, hey guys, I'm not this kind of.
Yeah. Like, guys, like I'm not racist. I don't enjoy just using the N word like as many times as I possibly can. No. He drops this film. In fact, the circumstances are a lot scarier for the black man in question in this film, because he's literally just in a cabin with just a bunch of white folks after the Civil War.
Yep.
So he really went for it.
Well, the original, like the reason why he wrote this movie is because I think Harvey Weinstein was really pushing him to do a sequel to Django, because it was such a huge success, great story, badass hero, great character. Let's, make again. He's like, I don't want to do that, but he's like, I do love this character, so like, maybe I can make like some paperbacks of like the
character of Django.
Django, yeah, do some paperback books or something like that of like the journey of Django, and just some cool other stories. And so he wrote this movie first. Like the first draft of it was Django as playing Major Marcus Warrant. Like it wasn't him, it was Django. And so it was called Django in White Hell was the movie title. I guess his working title or whatever. And that you get a call back to that at the end of the movie. The last chapter is called Black Man, White Hell.
Mm-hmm.
And so the reason why he took Django out of it was because he had all these mysterious characters who were like all these kind of bad guys. And Django is a very clear moral compass of the movie.
Yeah.
If you have him in there, he's just like, had a revenge story. He's a good character. He has a good heart. So like, he was clearly the moral compass, but in his movie, he was realizing that you can't have a moral compass in this movie. They all need to be morally vague. And so he's like, the problem with the story is that Django's in it. So he pulled Django out and then wrote what we see now, The Hateful Eight.
Yeah. Which, what a damn film. It's nice. I think it's pretty cool to see like Quentin Tarantino has proven himself to be able to take care of like a big budget.
Yeah.
He's given it. And he goes back to his roots here.
Yeah.
You just
one location.
You just get the Reservoir Dogs feel. So like all the outside shots that you're seeing, that was all just shot in Colorado. And then everything in Minnie's
Haberdashery.
Minnie's Haberdashery. That's all, just shot in LA. But he did keep the room. I think he said he would not let the room get above like 35 degrees.
Yeah, you notice that because their breath is heavy in that.
They're cold, yeah.
Well, you think about it. If you're in a cabin like that, that's not insulated at all. It's just like a structure, because you can see snow coming into the windows, blizzard. I mean, you're freezing cold the entire time. There's no warmth. You have to like lay by the fire directly on it to even get a hint of warmth.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would be brutal. So, and the characters, obviously, or the actors,
yeah.
They were in pretty brutal circumstances. They were basically sitting in a freezer, like a really cold refrigerator.
Yeah.
Just having to act and play the part. But
I know. And obviously Quentin Tarantino gets the best out of his actors in every film that he makes. But
this is like an actor. It's like an actor movie.
Yeah.
It's not like so much of, a storytelling clearly, but like, it's not really about the set, the scenes, like the camera. They shoot it wide, just let the actors.
Right. Yeah. That's why, like, it's pretty cool to see him, because in Django, when you go back, you see Walton Goggins, and I want to get the general's name right.
The actor's name?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me look that up real quick. I have the cast here.
Yeah, we're not in our usual setup today. We're in a special edition of the Crown Cinema Podcast on the road.
Yeah, we're not home right now. But anyways, so you get Walton Goggins, and then you got Bruce Dern, who played like Bruce Dern, I think had a line in Django.
Who's that?
That's General Sanford in Hateful Eight. He's in Django. Do you remember?
Yeah. He says
he's the one that like,
got sand.
Yeah.
You got sand, Django.
Yeah. So
I ain't got no use for a blank with sand.
You got sand, Django. I got no use for with sand.
Just say it, bro. Okay, so so Walton Goggins and Bruce Dern like both just have minor roles in Django. But it's so cool to see Quentin Tarantino like just like seeing like, okay, these guys are very talented. I didn't have a good, crazy, heavy part for them to play in Django, but I'm gonna remember them. So he, Walton Goggins, I don't think he was just given the part for this. He did have to audition, but Quentin Tarantino was probably leaning like towards him anyways. Walton Goggins steals this movie. This dude, I don't know if this is like his breakout role by any means, but it had to have helped his career.
I don't know. Let's just see because he's been in so much stuff when you like look back.
Yeah, but we're just looking, and not that this is a slight in any way, but like I'm used to just seeing Walton Goggins share a screen with Danny McBride.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Schools,
yeah.
Baby Billy.
Yeah. And like that's it. He's not like some like crazy big movie star. I love him. Yeah. I think he's A-list. But I think like most people that might
kind of a recent rise.
Yeah, I mean, he was in White Lotus recently, so I think that definitely like helped boost his career. I'm just saying status-wise, like I can't believe that like this came out in 2015. Now it's 2025, and now people are talking about him in a mainstream type.
And he's so good.
And he's so fucking good.
I mean, Fallout, The Ghoul.
I actually haven't seen that show, but I know
it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, and I believe it. Like, if you tell me that Walton Goggins is in a movie now, like I do get excited. Like this dude is just nuts.
Yeah,
literally insane.
And also, I noticed like him in this movie when he's talking when he's under pressure, Walton Goggins, his character has an essence of Baby Billy.
Yeah.
You catch that? Like the way he talks has Baby Billy. There's some scenes where like you hear him, you're like, that's literally where he got Baby Billy from.
I think I'm trying to like think of anything specific. I think like one example that you might be thinking of is whenever he's out in the snow and he's trying to get in.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And he like, he tells John Ruth, he just like gives him some shit and like gets really overboard with it. And then he like there's just that moment of silence where he's like, I'm fucking cold. He doesn't say anything, but like he gives that look of like, all right, please let me in. Like, stop fucking around.
I wish we could pull it up. We're not on our usual setup, so we can't pull it up. But
yeah.
It was something. He's out in the snow and I'll obviously add this reference here later, but he is outside in the snow and it's right when John Ruth is like, okay, well, if you're not gonna put the cuffs on, then you're gonna ride up top or you're gonna freeze to death.
Mm-hmm.
I forget exactly how he gets back in the wagon, but like whatever he says, he's like, come on now.
Yeah, well, what he does is he tells the OB, the guy that's pulling the horses.
Yeah, stagecoach driver.
So dumb when he covers that. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I have no idea what that title is. But what he does is he tells OB, like, remember my face. When you get to Red Rock, like make sure that John Ruth like dies for murdering me because I am the sheriff.
Right.
That's how he gets in. Right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Really sucks that we can't. Really sucks that we're not in our normal setup.
I know.
I feel so naked.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah. So I watched this movie. Like obviously we watched it for the podcast, but I did watch it like really like a week ago.
But you watched the extended cut.
I watched the extended cut. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It is just like really showing what Quentin Tarantino like just
has no editor to like tone him down,
right?
Him in,
like
you create the best thing possible.
You want to see what a Quentin Tarantino like 5-hour film looks like? This is it. Yeah. Like it is pretty much just showing you like everything that every single character does to progress. Like,
right.
Like there's no cuts.
I had this thought last night when we watched the movie. Tarantino is obviously a great filmmaker, a great writer. His movies are, phenomenal. I think the editor of his movies has such a huge role in the fact that he's so good, because he does write these long scenes, long dialogue stuff. Now, he does say that when he writes his screenplays, he does include things that he's probably gonna not use. Like, he understands, like, this scene's probably not gonna make the cut, but I'm gonna write it anyway, just for the actors and the story and the readability of it, so people enjoy the actual story of it. But like, the editors, they really pick and choose. Like, as we watched the movie last night, you were pointing out, like, oh, that scene was way longer. Oh, they showed this. Oh, they cut this from that extended cut. But what you were saying that they cut, you're like, yeah, that's a good thing to cut out of the movie. Like, let's get to the point. Let's keep going. Like, it's already a long movie. It's already got a lot of drawn out scenes that are long. Now it's entertaining because it's Tarantino still and the cool characters, but cutting that stuff makes it way
for the
better.
sake of, like, you are expecting an audience to, like, watch 8 people in a cabin pretty much just talk to each other.
Right.
So, like, that just requires the audience to focus. So, like, you got to cut some stuff.
Yeah, you have to. I love the idea for him making this movie, because he said, obviously the Django piece was the original idea, but I guess as he was starting to write this version of the movie, at that time he was watching a lot of old cowboy TV shows that I guess he watched as a kid. They're obviously before his time, but as a kid he probably watched them on TV or whatever. And he said during these cowboy movies, all these famous TV shows, they would always have a guest star of a famous actor of the time who's like maybe a big movie star, big TV star. He would come into the show and guest star, and he'd always be this mysterious character that would pop in out of nowhere. You'd have some revelations about his character. And so he thought to himself, because he loved those episodes, he's like, those are the best episodes. Like, when I watch those TV shows, those are always my favorite episodes of those TV shows. So he's like, what if I wrote a movie to where every character is just that guy?
Yeah.
And literally the way you watch all the characters unfold, or not unfold, I mean, as you watch all the characters get introduced, they're all mysteriously popping up out of nowhere. They have these little revelations whenever you see them. And my favorite part of him keeping that mysterious vibe is that damn near every character introduction, you get to see them shot in like a mysterious way where you never really get a clear picture of their face up front until the dialogue starts to really pick up and the conversation builds, and then you start to see their face. Like, Marcus Major Warren, Major Marcus Warren.
Yes.
And then Kurt Russell's character, John Ruth.
Marquis.
Yeah, that's what Walton Goggins says.
Yeah.
Marquis. The way they're shot, you see them from behind the whole entire time. As they walk up, you don't really know who they are. They're off in the distance. It's weird. Walton Goggins, when he shows up, same exact thing. He's like kind of shot from behind. You don't really see his face. When I get to the cabin, Bob, same exact thing. He's covered up in his little big fur coat with his hat and his face mask covered up, and they shoot him from the back as he's talking and delivering lines and stuff. You don't really see his face. So the way they introduce all these characters is just like literally exactly that theme. And you can just see it prevalent in all these character introductions where they are all this mysterious people. Like, you don't know what they're about or what's going to happen with them.
Yeah. But I also love that Quentin Tarantino is aware that what he's doing is, while it's cool and he knows that what he's doing, his delivery of it is going to be great, he is like kind of poking fun of him at himself, like doing it. And you can see that whenever John the Hangman. Yeah. Is it John Ruth?
Yeah, John Ruth.
It's John Ruth.
Yeah.
Okay. Kurt Russell's character, John Ruth, like at one point, he's like, for a blizzard coming into the mountains, there sure are a lot of fucking people walking around here.
Yeah.
Just like kind of poking fun. It's like, yeah, it is like like if you're thinking just realistically, like, why the fuck are there so many people just stranded on this mountain with a blizzard?
And it adds to the mystery, like the mystery of it. Whenever you have obviously Samuel Jackson, he gets picked up. That's like, okay, that's how the movie starts. Sure. And then when you get a second guy on the road, you're like, wait, okay, what's happening?
Right. Yeah.
Like, that's odd.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's good that he added those two different people on the road.
Yeah. Cause that's the thing that I'm a little sad about. Cause I don't know how many times I've watched this movie. It's been a few. I won't say 10, but definitely over 5.
Yeah.
So it really sucks because I can't really remember like the first time I watched it, like that feeling of like, damn, like, I don't know who's against who. Now, like, it's just so obvious to me that I kind of forget that that's the whole point of the movie, is that it is like a murder mystery. Like,
basically.
Like you're trying to figure out who is against John.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it just, I kind of forget that feeling of like when Walton Goggins' character shows up, that's when it's supposed to start hitting you like, oh shit, like, are they in on it together?
But I feel like the first time watching this, because it is his 8th movie. And so we know Tarantino. We've seen all of his great movies. We just watched Django. So you kind of just trust him. So like, I feel like at that point in time when we watched it, like we don't really go in with an expectation, or at least I didn't. When I remember, like when I first watched it, I didn't really go in with an expectation. I just trust whatever Tarantino's about to do is going to be badass. So I just like, don't really have any expectations. I just know what's going to unfold. It's going to be crazy. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Just lock in and figure it out.
Like, and obviously, like I get that too. I'm just thinking, like, for the sake of this movie, I think it is like who done it.
Yeah,
and like you can kind of have fun with it, and it's a good thing like we're doing this podcast because we'll start getting to kind of the signs of some of the things that help you put together, like, of course this guy was like never innocent,
right?
Of course, like, oh, of course these guys were in on it. And
if you're enjoying the episode so far, like, subscribe, or even leave us a review. Helps us out a lot. Okay, let's get back to the episode.
So I guess now, like, we're to the cabin. Unless do you have anything else you want to talk about, like with the beginning scene?
The one thing I was going to say about the little mysterious elements of the movie is that when Kurt Russell pops in, the exchange with Samuel Jackson's character, it appears that John Ruth is probably a good guy. So, like, because it's Kurt Russell, main action star. He's got a prisoner. He's a bounty hunter. So you kind of feel like you know who this guy is. Like, he's probably just a good guy. He doesn't kill his bounties. He takes him to the hangman because he's like follows the law.
Yeah.
So he's
a man of justice.
Yeah, he seems like he's a man of justice and good. And so you feel like you already know who that character is until whenever Daisy Domergue speaks up to him for the first time and he pistol whips her across the head. And they get this long shot of her where she's like looking up and he's like, "You got that?" or whatever he says to her. She's like, "Yeah, I got it." And she has blood pouring down her face.
Is that the one? That's not the next where he like elbows her in the face.
That's the next one. This is the first time he ever hits her. So the first time he ever hits her, you're like, "Oh, damn, that was brutal." And then there's a long shot on her where he doesn't cut to John Ruth as he's questioning her or making sure that she's going to stay calm or whatever. That long shot makes you kind of pity her. So you're like, damn, maybe John Ruth isn't the good guy. Like that as the mystery where you're like, oh, maybe I'm not sure about this guy. So again, layering in the mystery of all these characters, because you feel like you know who John Ruth is, and then when he hits her in that long shot, it makes you pity that girl. Yeah, and you're like, okay, damn, maybe he's not good. Yeah. So it's just, again, he layers in the mystery of these characters so well.
Yeah, they have such an interesting relationship in this movie too.
Who?
John and Daisy.
Yeah,
like, because there are just some times where like it just seems like John is kind of vulnerable and he kind of likes her.
At one point he's in the cabin with her and he's like, "You want a little snake bite in your coffee?" And he like pours up a little shot.
There's moments like that. I think there's even moments like where they do like kind of laugh together at some things too. Like they're literally chained together. Who knows how long they have been handcuffed for a while? So like there's just gonna be like, I don't know, like there's going to be a relationship there.
You're right. And like
some type of foundation.
A good moment when they all laugh together is in the cabin after Walton Goggins and Samuel Jackson are explaining the backstory of Major Marcus Warren after he, burned down the village, killed 42 Confederate soldiers and all that stuff in that prison camp. When he says that, or they say some line that
I'm trying to remember the line too.
I know it's tricky. It's a long movie. It's hard to remember.
There's a lot of dialogue.
Tell John Ruth your bright idea.
Well, the whole damn place was just made out of kindling, so I burnt it down.
And from saying that, everybody in the cabin laughs but Walton Goggins.
Yes.
So like you see that Daisy's like a part of that crew and Walton Goggins is actually on the outside of this crew when she's the prisoner that's getting beat to shit the entire time.
Yeah. And also it's like established that Daisy and Walton Goggins' character like kind of have the same beliefs.
Yeah.
As far as like how to treat black people in the South.
Yeah.
They clearly like
they're on the same page there.
Yeah. Walton Goggins' character is Chris Mannix.
Yeah.
I think, is it Mannix?
Mannix, I'm pretty sure.
Not Maddox.
Let's make sure that's. Yeah, I don't think it's Maddox. I think it's Mannix. Yeah, Mannix.
Yeah. So yeah, it's established really fast that that Daisy and Chris Mannix like have the same beliefs. So it's just it's funny to like see Daisy, she's laughing at Chris with a black guy.
Yeah, right.
God damn it, I had a whole nother point to that too. Yeah.
And then like I was saying earlier, how it's a actor's movie, how the frame is so wide, and so they let the actors really tell the story with everything. There's a really great scene where it shows Daisy Domergue, the actress that plays her, Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah. Who has a really cool story about how she got in this film too.
Okay.
Do you know about that?
No, but tell me after this. And so whenever she gets bashed in the nose with John Root's elbow. She's kind of like giving eyes to Major Marcus Warren. Like she's kind of smiling at him. Looks like she's almost trying to flirt with him a little bit. But again, it's a long shot on her. And so you can kind of see who this character is by her performance because they hold on her to where she like smiles at him. And then when she like, doesn't look at him anymore, she like looks out the window and kind of like grabs the post of the windshield or like the window of the cabin. And she's like, looks uncomfortable and you can see that she's in pain. Then she looks back at him and like smiles and looks back out the window, like a little bit nervous. Yeah. So you can just like that acting just reveals much more about that character of how she puts on this front of a tough bitch, but she's still a girl and she still is in pain, vulnerable. And she's vulnerable. Like she's still a human despite being this nasty person. Yeah. So just letting the performance hang.
Actually, I love that scene so much. Because when I was watching on the extended cut, I kind of forgot about it. And like, so when I was watching on the extended cut, I was like, damn, like he's really like honed in on her. Like, this is a long shot. It's a long take. I'm glad he kept that in there.
Yeah.
Because it's confusing for an audience member. You're like, if this woman is so evil, why am I like feeling kind of sorry for her? Why do I kind of like her if she's like just this wicked bitch?
Yeah.
Or, but I think that shot like does exactly what you say. But that actress, I did not know this until after we watched it. I was just like kind of looking up some stuff, but she's an actress, but I think her career was like kind of fading away a little bit. She just wasn't getting like big roles or anything like that. And Hateful Eight, I think the screenplay like got leaked.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So Quentin Tarantino thought this was pretty cool of him. He like held like kind of these fan readings.
Yeah.
Out in LA. And he would just invite people.
Yeah, it's like a theater experience where like all the actors sat down and read the script in their characters.
Yeah, and he would like workshop and he would like listen to people give, different ideas for changes to be made to the script. I just think that's so cool. But the actress that plays Daisy, she was at one of those, but not as a reader.
She's an audience member.
Audience member. And she, but Quentin Tarantino just like remembered that like when she was reading it as an audience member, she was like giving it her all. And she, obviously fucking killed it.
Yeah.
She was nominated for an Oscar for this film.
Yeah. Best supporting actress, right?
Yeah.
Because again, we're saying like it was a flop because it only had 3 Oscar nominations. None of them were about directing or best picture or.
Oh, really?
It was cinematography, supporting actor, and maybe music.
That intro song goes insane.
I mean, you got Ennio Morricone, or however you say his name. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly dude, the iconic spaghetti western. You got to put him on. It's Tarantino. He's literally bred off of spaghetti western, so he's got to get his old hero in there. Let me see what the actual awards are for it. Yeah, so best original score, best supporting actress, and best cinematography.
Okay, nice.
So still, I mean, for
but
Tarantino,
did it win any of those?
I don't think it did.
She didn't win her nomination.
Okay, Morricone won best original score for it.
Nice.
There we go.
They won an Oscar, but still a flop in Tarantino terms.
Yeah.
What an industry.
Yeah, for real.
What an industry. Well, I think after this movie, it's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's what comes after this?
Yep.
Yeah, because something went down with the Weinstein brothers.
I wonder what.
Yeah. No. Okay, that's funny. No. Something like went down with like them and Quentin Tarantino. I don't know if it's connected at all, but Quentin Tarantino just felt like they disrespected. It had something to do with.
Was that the whole Disney story?
Is that it?
Because I do know that
to like rent out like some huge theater or studio to like show the Hateful Eight, but they were like holding it for all of the like Star Wars movies and some other stuff. Like, and they didn't. It was like all throughout the holidays.
Yeah, so the Cinerama Dome in LA is this iconic movie theater in LA that Tarantino grew up going to. It's this, it's like in Austin, the Paramount.
Okay.
Iconic LA movie theater.
Gotcha.
And so they had an agreement where Star Wars was going to play The Force Awakens, the new Star Wars movie was going to come out 2 weeks before Christmas. And then on Christmas Day and 2 weeks after that, it was going to be the Hateful Eight. It was going to play at the Cinerama Dome. And they had a contract and agreement. The whole deal was good. But as Disney, towards the end of as it was approaching Christmas, they were like, actually, no, we want to run it out through the holiday season. And Tarantino was like, no, we had an agreement. And so what Disney did to the Cinerama Dome and said, okay, fine. If you don't let us get the whole weekend, then you never can play a Star Wars movie in your theater. The biggest movie of the year. Like you can't make it. You're going to make a lot of money. We're going to fucking pull it from your theater. So they were like screwing him. I think he eventually worked it out to where he got it, but Disney was like basically going out of their way to like fuck over his, they weren't personally doing it. They just wanted the money Disney did, but Tarantino felt personally attacked by it. And I think Miramax was owned by Disney. And so that's where maybe I'm speculating here. I didn't read into the story, but I think that might be why that conflicting thing happened with Harvey and Bob.
Yeah. Okay. Because Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think that's Sony.
Yep. So yeah, it is Sony Pictures.
Yeah. So just, fuck the industry.
Yeah.
Fuck the industry. But yeah, so this movie, I'm thinking about whenever they first get into Minnie's place. I'm not even going to try and say the
Haberdashery.
It just sounds like, I don't even know what it sounds like. I just can't say it. When they get to Minnie's place, I just love, you have Tim Roth's character, and then you have, God damn it. You have Bruce Dern's character. And they're just sitting there kind of at the chessboard table. And then if you're watching, I had a couple beers in me last night, but I swear to God, you see Bruce Dern's character almost like look at the camera as if he's like giving this look of like, are you paying attention?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, when you watch, because again, they shoot it so wide, so they have so many actors in the frames. And so rewatching the movie over and over again, you start to pick up, and when you look at actors in the background and stuff, they give clues and tells away. So in that scene, whenever they burst through the door, and when John Ruth bursts through the door for the first time, it's a wide shot. You see the
Bruce,
colonel,
general,
or the general, and then you see Oswaldo sitting there, Tim Roth's character. But you're distracted by what's going on in the background because it's John Ruth trying to close the door, everybody's yelling, the whole deal. But when you watch the general, he's like looking uncomfortable. He's like looking at Tim Roth, and he's like, you can tell he's on edge because he's being held as a prisoner.
They just told him that they'll kill him if he fucks this up. Yeah.
And John Ruth's coming in like with a bang, like it ain't no quiet thing. Like he's coming in like a bowling ball, in a china shop. So he's kind of like, oh my God, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. And so you can see elements of that. And then there's another little sign before that with Samuel Jackson and his Lincoln letter.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume at this point he hasn't had to use the Lincoln letter anymore because there's enough time passed after the war, I would assume. So like he's been in good graces.
Occasionally.
Yeah, sure. But it's not his like primary source of safety because now he's a bounty hunter. He kind of has skills and reputation.
Yeah.
And so he hasn't had to use the Lincoln letter as much anymore, I would assume. And so when John Ruth is like, you still got it? He's like, got what? It's like the Lincoln letter. He's like, oh yeah, of course I still got it.
You still got it? I still got what? The Lincoln letter. Of course.
Whoa.
I think probably he hasn't used it in a while. But if you think about a black man in the South at this time, if he literally had the Lincoln letter, because we real that it's a lie, if that was true, you would never forget you had that.
Yeah.
I mean,
if anybody were to ask you like, you still got it, you would immediately be like, oh yeah, I still got it.
Like that's like your prized possession. Like Abraham Lincoln was your pen pal and you have it in your chest.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You would never forget that, but he forgets it in the moment. I think because probably because he forgot about it.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't had to use it in a while, I would assume.
Yeah. I think that's one of the most interesting things about Samuel L. Jackson's character in this film is that, and I don't want to say this the wrong way. I don't want to sound like all the other white guys in the cabin that hate him, but I think it is kind of established that like he pretty much just lies about everything.
Yeah.
Like everything. So we know that one, he lies about the Lincoln letter.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest one. And then
the real question is, did he lie about the general's son sucking his wiener?
There's that.
His big black Johnson.
There's that. But hold on. And then
having the yellow stripe when he killed all the Confederates and his friends.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Yeah. So we know that the major is like this questionable character, arguably just like a huge liar. Not trying to be racist here. Not trying to sound like all the guys that are in the cabin, but pretty much. So we know that the Lincoln letter is a lie. Spoilers. And then we know that like when he broke out of the prison, that he, burns 47 Confederates to death. but he also burns 37.
Or 23 or something like that. It's a lesser number.
It's 47 and 37.
Okay.
Yeah. He burns 37 of his own guys, but they also happen to be white. Yeah, there's just like this whole thing. I guess he gets punished. I don't know what the yellow stripe down his back. I don't know what that means.
He just means a warning flag, or like maybe he got dishonorably discharged.
Yeah, it's got. I think
Modern
it's got to be
terms,
that.
something like that. He had some type of, mark on his resume.
But he pretty much establishes that he just doesn't like white people.
Yeah,
He like doesn't care about what side you're on. I just don't think he likes white people. So that's like probably not the best thing in the world to hear from a character that's like literally just in a cabin with white people. Once you get that established, you just kind of understand that like he doesn't like anybody in this room that he's with. But then the third thing that goes more in line with the fact that like he's just a liar is when he's getting on to Bob and he's like kind of questioning him
about Minnie in the stables.
Minnie, the stables and everything. Not in that, but actually in like the grand reveal. He mentions that Minnie has this sign where it says no dogs and no Mexicans allowed.
Right.
And he like establishes that as a firm thing. Well, then you go to the flashback of like Minnie and all of her like workers like being alive. When Bob walks in, she has no problem with him. She has no type of hostility towards Bob at all.
But I wonder if he got away with it because he changed his name to Bob. Of course, not a Mexican
Just
name.
the way that he talks, the way that he looks, like it's like clear that he's like a Mexican. I think it's like very well established. Like,
right.
Because he like the major knew it immediately. I mean, John Ruth knew it immediately. He's just he starts blaming everything on Bob, the Mexican, as soon as he walks into the cabin. So I think it's like just kind of like a known, like he's clearly like a Mexican. And if Minnie truly hated Mexicans, why did she not immediately say like, get him out of here?
Right.
What he's doing is that he's confirming that Bob is a liar and that he is not replacing Minnie while she's at home.
He's just adding another piece of evidence.
Because if Bob knew that Minnie like doesn't hate Mexicans, he would have been like, what are you talking about? Minnie doesn't hate anybody. Sure. Minnie loves everybody.
Yeah.
But he never once like stood up for himself in that argument. So it like kind of like brings him out because essentially the major is like, he's like, if Bob knew Minnie, he would immediately shoot that down and be like, what are you talking about? Like she loves everybody. She doesn't discriminate towards anybody, but he doesn't. So he's like, you fucking killed her.
Yeah.
So he's a liar to like save a scam, but it's also like good detective strategy.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Do you think
I picked up on that last night. I was like, holy shit, I never noticed that.
Yeah, that's good. That's probably the true. Because he's a liar. You see it so many times.
Yeah.
Do you think he lied about the general's son?
I don't, only because, and this is like such a small thing, but like maybe it's true. He like mentions that he grabs like a thick thing of like black hair, which I guess like maybe that's like a 50-50 thing, but like,
sure.
I don't know. Like that's just like kind of a wild guess. Like you're just kind of waiting for the general to be like, my son was blonde. But like, that's it. That's like the one, he like gives a specific description of what this kid's hair was like, and the general didn't dispute it.
I think my guess is that it's an over exaggeration. I think that he probably did kill the general's son because the major or the general earlier in the movie says when he's talking to Chris Mannix, he says, my son died. He went out to go get his fortune up here and was never to be seen again. So getting the fortune is clearly going after Major Warren.
Yeah.
And so, I think he did meet him. Samuel Jackson did actually kill him, but he over exaggerated it and made it much more vulgar about him like sucking his Johnson. So that way,
which we know he is capable of coming up with a story that Abraham Lincoln letter, it's like very real.
Yeah.
Everybody that reads it, if
well, even Chris Mannix even mentions one time, he says to Samuel L. Jackson, he's like, you got one hell of an imagination.
Yeah.
And so he does, because he literally wrote a Lincoln letter out of that little nice little touch at the end where he's like, old Mary Todd's calling.
Exactly.
It's time to go to bed. Like a little personal touch where like men will like love like Abraham Lincoln, is with his wife and the whole deal. They can see the picture. So he does have an imagination. Yeah. So I do think he probably did kill him, but I probably don't think he let him suck his dick. I don't think that probably happened. He just
The
said
Major
that.
doesn't strike me as gay,
Yeah, I feel
but you never know.
because he's not. Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Yeah, he might be gay.
it's also a power thing. You know, he's not doing it for the pleasure. He's doing it for the
Yeah,
power.
yeah.
It's prison sex.
You're right. Major's not gay.
No, but
Well, unless, do you think the Major's gay?
no. See, I don't think he let him.
Let's
suck
break
the-
down all the science of why the Major's gay.
Welcome back to the Crown Cinema podcast.
No, you know what's funny though is I remember I tried like showing my dad this movie when I was like 16, 17. My dad's just not a big like,
He's an old country boy.
he's old. He loves those John Wayne movies. Maybe the occasional like, you son of a bitch. You know, he loves the occasional cussing in a movie. He is not the biggest Quentin Tarantino fan. But I tried showing him this. It's like, Dad, this is my favorite director. You love Westerns. Let's try it out. You know, it's just 8 guys in a cabin. And like, I think I'd seen it for like one time. I think it was my second time. Pretty much as soon as the Major like has that dude walking in the snow naked, that's where I lost my dad.
He's like, I'm out.
He was like, "Hey, son, like, what the fuck?"
I ain't watching a
like,
naked man walk in the snow.
He was like, what part of like I like John Wayne, the occasional sons of bitches in a film, do you not understand? I knew as soon as that wiener came out that this was not the movie for my dad.
It's always funny when you like pick a movie for like your dad or somebody that you know, you're trying to get to like a movie who you know is a tough audience, and you pick a movie, and then as you're watching it, you forget about a scene. You're like, fuck, they're not gonna like this part.
Yep. Yeah, I just told my mom she should check out The Social Network. And then pretty much as soon as she walked away, I was just thinking about the blowjob scene with Andrew Garfield. And
That's not that vulgar.
Disney. I know, but the fact that I recommended that movie to my mom and then that's like just a scene in there that she's gonna have to watch. I fucking hate that. Anyways.
Moving along. Another hint that you get to see that's kind of cool rewatching the movie is that so Oswaldo, he puts on this proper English accent when he's in the haberdashery, but when he's like dying, and I think just when he's dying, you hear him talk how he actually talks, and it's more like a Cockney accent. It's like a proper version of an English accent. So he obviously drops it when he's dying. And so whenever you see Daisy see Oswaldo for the first time, who's on her team, and he starts to talking to John Ruth, she's laughing in the background because she's like, this is funny. You're putting on a funny voice. Like I see, like, okay, this is funny. So like you literally see her laughing about it because it's like,
I didn't even put that together.
Yeah, you see her next to John Ruth like cracking up because she's hearing her teammate put on this funny accent.
Are you sure about this?
Yeah.
The only reason I'm asking is because at the end, when they start going about like their real names and what they're priced at, like I swear he like goes by the Englishman.
No, he is English. I'm saying a Cockney accent is not as a non-proper English accent.
Oh,
It's like more slangy, you know, it's like the cool English accent, not the proper one. It's like,
gotcha.
I can't do the Cockney accent. It's one of my favorite accents though. I just like the way it sounds. It's like the rapper's accent, the UK rapper accent.
Okay, I got you.
Blockty. Bruh.
That's not bad.
I love that Drewski video of him doing that.
Yeah, it's the classic.
So funny.
One thing that I also picked up on this film is whenever the Major is like kind of trying to figure out who poisoned the coffee, he wasn't in the room when the hangman tells John at the beginning that all 3 of them showed up in the carriage together. So I'm trying to think of like the right way to put this, but pretty much like once you establish that they all know each other, that they all were in this carriage together, that they're all like in cahoots together.
Right.
So like Bob clearly was not the stable man, but like he showed up on the carriage with them.
Mm-hmm.
I think, damn, I'm butchering this so bad. I'm just trying to think of like the right way to put it. Like Samuel L. Jackson doesn't understand that like
They all showed up together.
yes,
He doesn't know they're like, because that's an easy way to prove y'all are all teammates.
Yeah.
He would be like, well, y'all showed up together. I'm killing all y'all fools.
yeah, which it's still like a little loose, but like if John was alive, he would have been like, holy shit, they're all in cahoots together.
Mm-hmm.
But like I thought that was pretty cool that like he had to like go one by one
Yeah.
because he didn't understand that they all were in on it together.
Yeah, right.
Or John would have just realized that immediately.
Mm-hmm. There's a cool shot. So whenever the scene you're talking about, whenever Samuel L. Jackson's questioning Bob in the stable about, they don't sound like Minnie. Talk about, leaving a Mexican to, running Minnie's haberdashery. And so there's a cool shot. I might be reaching here, a little bit of a stretch, but whenever they're leaving the stable, you see them kind of silhouetted by the door of the stable. So like they're out in the snow, closing the door of it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of boxed in. The frame is boxing them in with the stable's doors. And so Samuel L. Jackson pretty much can confirm that this guy's not who he says he is. They're up to some weird shit. Minnie's not around. They probably killed Minnie. These are some bad guys. He already knows that, but he doesn't really have the confirmation, I guess, yet to actually act on it. And so, and Bob also knows that he's suspicious of him, and Bob knows that he's lying about it. And so they both decide to just go into the haberdashery. So whenever they leave the stable and they're boxed in and like shut the door, because it's almost like the frame is telling you that they both know that there's trouble coming, but they're willing to just like put themselves in this box to deal with it. Instead of like handling it there and getting out of it, they have no option but to just box themselves into this haberdashery and like figure out where the trouble is going to lie, and then hopefully survive this ordeal.
Yeah, and I don't think you see them talk to each other once they get into Minnie's place. I don't think they ever talk to each other again until it's time.
Yeah.
And the other thing, if like Bob, if he was actually the stableman, he should have already like, remember OB and Sheriff Chris, they have to like do the lines to the bathroom and to the stables.
Yeah.
They've known that this blizzard is coming. So if Bob was actually the stableman, he would have just already done that. That would have already been handled.
He should know how that works. Like, this is how you prep for blizzard. When you can't see shit, you got to have a line out to the place so you don't get lost in the snow.
Exactly.
And people can find you.
Yeah. So there's like another clue.
You're talking about, Samuel L. Jackson's character, Major Warren's, being racist to white people.
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning of the movie, they set up Walton Goggins' character and his character as opposites of each other. Like they're the enemies. Like they literally couldn't be more polar opposites of each other. But as the movie goes on, you start to realize that they're actually the same person. Like they are both men of the law. It might be a lie that Walton Goggins' character isn't the actual sheriff because he claims that he's the sheriff. That might be a lie, but I would assume it's probably true because at the end he doesn't take the deal with.
That's like, I think that's the whole reason for the last chapter. You don't even need the last chapter because, like, they're all three gang members. They're trapped in this cabin. They're all gonna die. The whole reason for that ending is to just show that Walton Goggins was not lying and that he is the sheriff.
Yeah. So he also says, like, my first and last act as sheriff of Red Rocks, I sentence you to hang by the neck till dead. Yeah. And, they all both hang her. But so anyway, you realize that they're kind of the same character. They're both racist toward a certain race, opposites of the spectrum, but they both are the same. They're both lawmen. And then at the end, they're both dressed the same. If you notice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They both have a white shirt on with a black vest. They look like they're wearing identical clothes. Major Warren's has the red tie on or whatever is on his thing. That's the only difference, but they're both basically dressed the same. So you see that they're actually the same character.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
And so through this trouble, it's kind of like Tarantino breaking down the walls of like the racism and the division of the country at the end of the movie, because these two people that were supposed to hate each other in the end become friends because they're the only ones they can trust, and they both realize that they're pretty alike. And so they have a cool shot at the end of the movie whenever they're both bleeding out after Walton Goggins just reads the Abraham Lincoln letter. The bed sheet's blue. They're wearing white and there's blood all over themselves. So it's like red, white, and blue. Like this two sides of the country are coming together. They literally put the USA flag colors in the last scene to show like these two opposite sides of the country ended up coming together and like being teammates and dying together, and also coming together on their one thing, which they believe in, which is justice.
Oh my God. That's so funny. Quentin Tarantino, you got an interesting way of going about unity.
Yeah.
Also,
way.
Yeah, another thing though, like at one point when Chris is like considering taking the deal, quote unquote, he moves his chair in front of the major. So like if he were to take the deal, the major could just shoot him in the back. So he's like kind of doing that to like show like, trust me, like I'm not taking this deal. If I do, you can kill me.
I'm putting myself at a disadvantage for you to trust me.
Yeah. So like I thought that was pretty cool because that entire last thing, some people might be like, all right, he's literally just fucking dragging it out. Like obviously these are the gangsters. It's done. Why don't they just kill him? To show that Chris is actually a pretty good character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of forgot the ending when we watched it last night. I couldn't really remember how exactly it ended. I didn't remember the hanging of Daisy.
She was like the fucking exorcism of Emily Rose up there.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Yeah. So I kind of had the sense of like, this is like a big plot hole. Like Major Warren says he never brings in a bounty alive. And now he has a bunch of bounties in front of him that he knows. Why not just pop, kill them all? It's going to be legal and they're all criminals. Like, why not just do that? Because he leaves Daisy alive. But then Tarantino answers it by he wanted to respect John Ruth by having her hang how he wanted her to be hanged. He didn't want to just kill her and disrespect John Ruth's wishes, up to the final moments. He's like, no, let's do the right thing and actually hang her. So I was kind of sitting there like, why did he not just pop her? But he does kill Channing Tatum's character, the main leader of the Dahmer.
Right.
Domingue Gray.
It is to show that he's not a lawman. He's a bounty hunter. And guess what? This guy has a high price on his head.
$50,000.
Yeah, the major does not take anybody alive. He just kills them.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I think he just knows that he's dead too. This guy shot him in the balls. Really, that's what it actually comes down to.
Yeah.
Because this dude shot me in the balls. He's been hiding under me this whole time. Like, fuck him. Dead.
You're dead. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, killing him like that. And then he does end up killing Daisy because he's like, oh no, is Daisy actually about to get Chris Mannix to flip sides? Because he's like about to take the deal. It seems like. And so that's when he goes to shoot her and he realizes he doesn't have any more bullets.
Yeah.
He's like, no. So funny in the movie when when Samuel Jackson's dying with his balls shot off, when he's talking, it's all in slow motion. He's like, don't take a deal with that bitch.
Yeah.
Or whatever he says, something like that.
Yeah, like, pretty much.
Then it cuts back. He's like, go take the deal. Just so funny.
You don't listen to this line, bitch.
yeah, something like that.
Gonna make a deal with this diabolical bitch.
Also, Walton Goggins was having a lot of fun just calling her bitch.
Yeah.
He's just, I don't know what to describe Walton Goggins. Like, I don't even it's some type of swagger that he's got where he's like playing kind of a straight dude, but he's like
got a little feminine touches, a little fruity-esque.
Right. But somehow it like pulls it off to like just add like whatever swag he's got going on. So when he's like, bitch, like if anybody else did that, you're like, he's kind of gay.
I think my favorite Chris Mannix moment in the movie was whenever he thinks for whatever reason, he just wants to pin it on Joe Gage. Because there's the lineup scene whenever Marcus Warren is going in and trying to identify who is the criminal.
Yeah, Chris is like pretty much playing the audience at this point.
Yeah, but Samuel Jackson has these great theories on all these characters, these deep developing things I just noticed the entire time he's been here, connecting these dots. And then right before Samuel Jackson can say what he thinks about Joe Gage, Chris Mannix jumps in. He's like, and to my theory of who's the ugliest one, I think it's Joe Gage. And then when he ends up actually being a bad guy he admits to poison the coffee, he's like, I fucking knew it. Based on no real evidence, just luck of the draw. His little ugly theory actually panned out to be true. He's so proud of himself, thinking that he's the one that is smart in this whole deal.
Again, that's just Quentin Tarantino having fun. It was enjoying so much with Chris. He was like, you know what? Chris is actually right.
Yeah.
He was right all along. I just love that. Tim Roth's character, was it Oswaldo in it?
That's what he goes by most of the movie.
Right.
But we'll call him Oswaldo.
Quote unquote the hangman. Obviously was supposed to go to Christoph Waltz. I watched it last week, and that was the first time I ever was just like, oh shit, this was obviously written for Christoph Waltz. It's not even a secret.
Yeah,
you watch that character,
you hear the dialogue, you're like, that would have been a King Shultz line.
Yeah, the mannerisms too of just he kind of pops up and it's just oh yeah, get that for you, But Christoph Waltz, I did look it up. He did decline. I don't know. I don't think it ever specifies that he declined this role. But like, who are we kidding? But he did decline doing this movie.
Yeah, it has to be that role.
It literally had to be that role. It's the same fucking hat
And outfit, sort of. It's like a gray outfit.
I'm just talking about like the hat is literally what
King
his
Shultz.
character, what his character is wearing in Django.
Mm-hmm.
But Christoph was like, no, I don't want to be typecast in a Quentin Tarantino movie. Plus, these dialogue scenes are brutal. That's so much memorization.
He probably likes that though.
Yeah, I think it's just more of like, damn, like these are two like heavy movies that I've been in. I've been a Nazi and I've been in a movie that said the N-word a record amount of times.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just take a little step back.
Yeah, I don't want to play another racist.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though,
Stop making me say the N-word.
yeah. That's kind of the, on the edge funny part. Like Oswaldo, the hangman in this film. Like he's not. He's playing the character of somebody that's not racist, and at the end you do find out that he is indeed racist.
Right, yeah.
Because he's like, just kill that.
Yeah.
Like, and you're good.
What? Kill what?
I think if you've seen enough Quentin Tarantino films, you can fill in the gaps right there.
But yeah, you watch that character and it literally is Christoph. I mean, it's literally Dr. King Shultz from Django.
Yeah.
Like
And I don't mean to take anything away from Tim Roth because he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
I mean,
he killed it.
kills it. And obviously he's one of Quentin Tarantino's go-tos. He's just damn good. But,
yeah.
And he did a great job in this role. But that was clearly for Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
Like Tim Roth was like doing his best Christoph Waltz impression.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder if it would have been King Shultz in that original draft when it was the Django movie or the Django story, I guess.
Because Django's before the Civil War.
Right after.
Django is?
It was right before the Civil War.
Okay.
Because yeah,
Because
obviously
this
slavery.
is right after.
Yeah, obviously it's before the Civil War. There's slavery
There's
in
slaves,
Django. Yeah, it's I think it's literally like a couple years before. Like it's at peak turmoil in the country with Django.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I guess King Schultz would have been dead.
Right.
So my theory just went out the window there.
Yeah.
But anyway, definitely. And then again, like you would have been like, is that King Schultz? Like what? It makes sense that he turned it down because he would have just been playing the same character. There's no variation you can add to this Southern Englishman in Southern or that time period of the United States, dressed the same way, mannerisms all the same. It just would have been the same character.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that I kind of liked is the general. He just keeps like getting shit on throughout the whole movie for just being an old man. Everybody just like keeps talking about like, you're so boring, you're an old man, except Walton Goggins' character, of course.
Who respects the hell out of him.
Right. But there's like something that I noticed whenever he dies, nobody really cares.
Nope.
Like there's no reaction. Like this, he gets shot.
But that makes sense that all the people are criminals. They don't give a shit about that. Oh man.
I know. I'm just thinking, but listen to this. So like he gets shot and like not even Walton Goggins' character is like, like how fucking dare you would think he would have some fire, but he just didn't really care that much.
Well, if he is the sheriff, he understands the law, and that was self-defense. So
I guess that's
you
true.
Can't really prove about it. Like, I mean, nothing. It was fair.
I guess
even though he set him up and caused it to happen, he still went for the gun, still went to go kill him, and that was a pure self-defense. And there's so many witnesses that can prove the fact that he drew the gun first. The general drew the gun first.
I guess that goes hand in hand with why it's so much funnier that Walton Goggins' character like lets out an audible gasp whenever John dies.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't pull it up right now, but if you go back and look, like when Daisy like kills John, it just immediately cuts to Chris Mannix, and he's like,
yeah.
But he didn't give one fuck about the old man dying.
Yeah, true.
It's just funny, it's just, because he's an old man, so nobody really cares.
Yeah, just some old. He's gonna die anyway.
Yeah, he was. It's like he was just putting on a show for the general just to like be a Southern gentleman.
Yeah,
maybe he was like, thank God that old man died.
Yeah.
So then, most people know this, but if you don't, like one of the most famous scenes that you get is whenever Daisy's playing the guitar. I don't know what the song is called. She's playing the guitar. I think she ends up like just kind of talking shit to John, like through the song.
Mhm.
So he grabs the guitar and he smashes it. And you see this reaction of her going, she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Real reaction.
Because she even looks off screen.
Right. And so the story is that like that was like just this kind of like,
It was a priceless antique guitar
thank
from
you,
a museum.
antique. I couldn't think of the name. Yeah.
From a museum, lent it to them.
So you know like the story.
Yeah, I did see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much they were supposed to swap it out for whenever he smashed it. They didn't. She knew it. Kurt Russell had no idea. So that was just something that happened. And then like the people that like rented out the antique guitars,
the museum.
like after this movie, they said we will never rent another guitar to anybody.
Yeah, they banned it from ever. But why would you even do that? What's the point of even bringing it?
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Just patina a little guitar, make it look old, and then use that. Like nobody gives a fuck if it's an antique guitar.
I have no idea, but they did.
Yeah,
And
it was a priceless antique.
I saw it was like somewhere in the six figures. Fucking insane.
Well, no, I think maybe value, but you can't buy it because it's in a museum and it's like a relic piece. Where like, if you want to buy it, you cannot buy it. It's owned by this museum who will never sell it because it's this antique, priceless guitar. It's like maybe the value is like six figures or whatever, but like
to them, they're just never gonna.
Yeah, no. And then Kurt Russell destroyed. He felt so bad that his eyes welled up with tears. He was like,
Kurt Russell.
He was like, oh my god, I didn't know. Because
what was Quentin Tarantino's reaction? What did he say?
He might have known or he really cared because like Tarantino wanted to show all these actions in longer takes and like really get it in one shot, and so he wasn't going to stop the take. He's like, we'll just do it. Like he didn't stop him or anything, and
because that's got to be one thing about being on a Quentin Tarantino film is like you do not stop until that dude says cut.
Because it makes sense that Kurt Russell didn't know that because again they wanted it to be in one take, and so he's like, okay, well if this is the one take, even though she's using the priceless guitar because it starts off with her playing it right, and then it zooms out to him grabbing it, and so he just assumes like, okay, well it's gonna be the prop guitar probably. I can destroy it and smash it, but he didn't.
That's crazy.
He didn't know.
That's crazy.
Or if he had to like pay anything back, if like he got like fined or Kurt Russell had to like pay anything.
No, somebody else. Somebody just got fired. Really, that's what happened. Somebody had one job and they failed.
Dude, imagine that being your job to protect this antique guitar, and you're like, don't worry, I'll take good care of it, and then fucking get
somebody in the prop or art department was supposed to like they had one job to make sure that guitar got swapped every time it got smashed, and they didn't. So that person got fired. That's not on Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
It's not even on Quentin Tarantino.
I mean, it is on Kurt Russell, but whoever should have told, they should have been very clear. This is the antique guitar.
Right, yeah.
Do not fucking smash it.
Exactly. So that's why, like, it's not on Kurt. He's literally having to memorize just a godly amount of script, like, and act well.
And there ain't no improv in a Tarantino movie.
Exactly. So he can't concern like, all right, is this right? Is this the right guitar?
Yeah.
But yeah, I am ready to rate this bad boy.
All right, let's rate this thing. All right, what you got?
For the Hateful Eight, I am rating it overall a 9.4.
All right.
So
lower than I thought, honestly.
Huh?
Lower than I thought, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Thought it would have been a 10 maybe.
No. Acting, I mean, damn near. But, acting is a 10.
Yep.
Quentin Tarantino is always going to bring the best out of everybody that touches the screen. Writing is a 10. Quentin Tarantino just in his bag clearly just went into just some dark room for God knows how long and just came out with this, and it's insane. Editing is an 8. Long movie, but it's a great movie. Cinematography 10. Enjoyability 9.
Here you go.
Overall 9.4.
My total score is a 9.7 out of 10. Acting 10, editing 9.5. The reason why I give such a high editing score is because he had so much shit in that extended cut that you were mentioning, and it's like the editor trimmed it down to the best of the best and really selected what they could have to make it the best movie he possibly could with 5 hours, 8 hours of footage, however much the story long was.
I feel like that's got to be one of the hardest jobs in the world ever, is to tell Quentin Tarantino, no, we got to cut this.
That's why I use the same editor every time. You can trust her, and he knows like when she tells me to cut this, I understand why. And then writing 10 out of 10. Cinematography, 10 out of 10. Won an award for a reason. And enjoyability, 9 out of 10. It's not one of my favorite Tarantino movies, but still one of his best. Still up there.
It's just a damn good movie.
So 9.7 out of 10.
There
All
we
right.
go.
Got any final thoughts?
Not really. No, that's just a good movie.
Yeah, solid. Solid.
Yeah, I mean,
Tarantino.
when we watched it, the huge storm came in.
Yeah.
Like, damn, this is like this is a nice movie to watch around Christmas. What a nice family-friendly Christmas movie.
Surely. All right, thank you guys for listening. Comment below your thoughts on the Hateful Eight. Let us know what we missed. Let us know your favorite parts. Don't forget to submit your rating out of 10. We'd love to see those and compare our scores and just hear your thoughts on these great movies. Don't forget to leave us a review if you're listening on Apple or Spotify podcast. That helps us out a lot. And that's it. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all next week. We are out.
Trying to buy my next meal. Seems all I do is drive. And when the boss man sends my next check in the mail, I'll have enough for closing time. And I've been cussing like a sailor since I ran out of weed. My tank is